Good afternoon, everyone. Gathered in this Zoom meeting as well as through YouTube to this flagship program. And in the third day of this program, we have with us a very great senior and eminent personality, Professor Anusur Rahman, sir. Sir, warm welcome on behalf of the Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, for this
Thank you.
flagship program.
Thank you so much.
Friends, Professor Rahman, sir, is presently discharging his duties as a professor at Center for West Asian Studies uh, and the director of Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center at Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Sir has more than 40 years of teaching as well as the research experience in the domain of sociology as well as in the domain of sociology as well as the economics and the population studies in the Gulf areas. Sir has author of the four books and more than 50 research papers in the reputed national and international journal that has been accredited by the abroad, and he has contributed for the many book of chapters. He has presented over 70 research papers in the conferences and the seminar, as well as he has visited the USA, UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, and UAE for the Indo-French Social Scientist Exchange Program in 2010, 2013, and 2015. He has also delivered the more than hundreds of invited talks in the different institutions at the higher education. Friends, this is the brief introduction with regards to Professor Anisur sir. One special thing is that he is also engaging um, in the effective manpower development or the effective human resource development since from last 30 years from the Jamia across the country, not only across the country but all the abroad also. He has also associated with the LEAP program, that is Academic Leadership Development Program, launched by the formerly Ministry of HRD and now the Ministry of Education. So he has a vast experience in that field. So this is the brief introduction with regards to Professor Nusrat sir, and sir will interact with us on a today very component and important component, that is higher education and society. So I will not take much more time. And sir, I will again warm welcome you to this flagship program and request you to start with your session. Sir, please.
Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining this program. And I'm feeling so great that I have become the part of this great event being organized by great institution of higher learning in our own country. And I have got this kind of opportunity many times in the past to interact with the same kind of gatherings. We all know pretty well that we belong to the academia. And this platform, which is now called as MMTTC, means Malvi Mission Teachers Training Center, which was earlier called UGC Human Resource Development Center. And even before that, it was called Academic Staff College. When it was born, and 45 academic staff colleges were established under the aegis of different institutions of higher learning way back in 1986 or 87. It is, in fact, the outcome of the last national education policy. And if you see this national education policy 2020, I think lot importance has been given for training, and the role and the responsibility of the teachers have been well recognized, especially in this policy. And there is also said that these are the teachers who are going to decide the fate of this great nation. These are the teachers who are going to shape the nation, is going to decide the future and is going to shape this nation in a better way or in a greater way. Taking this kind of view into the mind, this kind of program has begun very recently since September, because on the very first day, on fifth day, I think MMTTC was inaugurated, and it was said that 15 lakhs teachers in our own country are going to be imparted or training, or they are going to give in a lot of exposure relating to this National Education Policy 2020, because this NEP is going to decide or is going to develop this great nation in a bigger way. As we all know pretty well, by the 2047, there's a vision of this great nation is that we are going to make our country in the category of the developed nation in the, I think that is called Vikshit Bharat. And that time, that period is not far off. When India got independence 47, so we are going to complete 100 years of India's independence by 2047. And by that time, we are looking forward to see our great nation in the category of the developed nation. For that matter, we need to do a lot in this area. And higher education is recognized as one of the very important tools through which we will be able to achieve this great dream, that is Vikshit Bharat. And here, if you see these 8 themes, I think today is the third day. So 8 themes are going to cover, and these 8 themes are interconnected to each other. And these all themes are going to reinforce, these all themes are going to basically realize is going to realize the functioning or and the objectives of this National Education Policy 2020. As it is, the very program to which we all are attending is called NEP orientation and sensitization. So if we become sensitive and motivated and make ourselves aware the relevance and the importance of this national education policy, which is we all know has been made very concise, and many recommendations and objectives have been set in. So one objective is, you all know that how to ensure quality means how to bring excellence in the sector of in the sector of education, more specifically in the higher education. So we as a teacher, we all know pretty well, and everybody knows that unless until the faculty is going to be qualitative in its own way, means professional development of a staff becomes the need of the hour. If we develop our profession, if we develop our capacity and capability in terms of research, in terms of pedagogy, definitely we are going to contribute a lot in the area of development, in the area of higher education. When the higher education is going to be developed, definitely it is going to have the direct impact on the development, because it is going to lead the development in many ways. As we all know that higher education, which also consists of the research and development is taking place. So what kind of research we are making over there, and how research has been given a lot of impetus in this national education policy, we know pretty well. As it is said that NRIF is going to be created. All these many research bodies, agencies are there, but these agencies are not good enough. They are not adequate enough. So what is required, that NRIF is going to be established. As we know pretty well, in the last month of June, I think NRF bill has already been passed. So there's a lot of importance which has been given in order to ensure, or in order to enhance the quality in the domain of higher education, especially. Like we all know that it is also said that by 2035, we need to make our gross enrollment ratio to increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50%. So if you see the scenario today, right now, yeah, I think we have achieved the target of 26 or 27%. So miles to go in this area. So you must be wondering, what is the need to increase the gross enrollment ratio? There is a need. Let me tell you some of the facts and the figures that is very important to know. That if you see the scenario of the developed nation like United States of America, over there the gross enrollment ratio is in the range of, roughly speaking, in the range of 85 to 90% gross enrollment ratio in case of the US. If you see the gross enrollment ratio in the European Union countries, here it is said that it is in the range of 65 to 66%. And if you see the scenario of the Asia as a whole, as a continent, here it is said that it is in the range of 36 to 40%. So see the gross enrollment ratio of the world, that is estimated to be around 27 to 27 or 28%. So we are still hovering around the global gross enrollment ratio. So since we are envisioning, and we are dreaming, and we have the vision, and we are aspiring to catch up with the fast changing developed nation by 2047. So we need to do a lot of exercise for that. That is very much clear. So here we need to ensure the quality, means quality and expansion of higher education. These are the, broadly speaking, two very great challenges and the objectives to which we need to realize, like 50% we need to make. So now the question arises, how? Because for the last 75 years we have been working hard, and we have reached the level of 26 or 27%, and with a very short span period of time, hardly 13 to 14 years, by 2035 we need to make it just double. So it's a Herculean, it seems to be very difficult Herculean task, but we can do it because India has the potential. We the teachers, if we play our very proactive role, I think we can realize the dream to which we all are dreaming, to which we all are having it. Not only this, I will also hide, before going to open the slide, I will be also very happy to share some of the very important issues and the challenges. Now the question arises, why I am discussing all these challenges? Because these challenges can be converted into the reality, converted into the what is called the opportunity. How we are going to translate or convert these challenges into the opportunity, again it depends on the quality and capability of all of us, and to which we are, it is estimated that around 15 plus, means 15 lakh teachers plus are there in our own country. And here it is said, with this policy, with this MMTTC, or with this program, that every teacher of this great nation is going to undertake this kind of exposure and the training. So we all are doing it, and we all are learning from each other. We are giving a lot of exposure. We are discussing how we can motivate ourselves, how we are going to empower the society, so that coming generation, means students which are considered to be the future of this great nation, is going to contribute immensely in the field of development, prosperity, or to bring prosperity, and also to reduce poverty, unemployment, and inequality, gender discrimination. So many things are there. If we become very educated or conscious, and definitely our society will start moving in the direction of the positive direction or positive way. This is what we all are looking forward. So here we all know pretty well. I hope you all are listening to me. मेरी आवाज जा रही है शायद, आप सुन रहे हैं मेरी बात?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So sometimes we get disconnected. That's why just I'm making an inquiry. So what I'm basically putting
We are
before.
able to hear you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what I would like to put it before you, that I think, thank you so much for putting your video on. So that I could see you all, at least photograph, so that it will be very encouraging for me also. So if you don't have any problem, you can put your video on, so that I could also feel encouraged, saying that I'm not only talking to the screen, rather I'm talking to my colleagues, friends, those who are listening to me. So what I am putting before you, that one challenge or the opportunity, whatever you feel like. Here it is said that India has a lot of potential, in the sense that India is passing through the age or through the stage of demographic dividend. Means India is called as the country of youths, or India is a young country. You must be knowing why it is called. Means two-thirds of the population, means 66 plus population, falls into the category of the age group of 15 to 35 or 40. Which group, which bracket of population is considered to be very active and working age. So now the question arises, and very recently we all must got to know that India has replaced China in terms of the population. Now India has become the most populous country on the earth. So here, when I am saying, and when we get to know that, so it's not what is good in it. We all the time say that what is good in it. India has, because it is population is the liability. But take the other perspective, as I am saying, and we all know that India has the potential. Means majority of the population, means overwhelming majority of the population falls into the age group of the working age. So now the question arises, if we will be able to convert this population into the human capital or the human resource, definitely country is going to get a lot of benefits. In India, the same bracket of population will become the, what we call it, the assets for this nation. And this could be done only with the help of providing education and skills, and of course training. By providing training, skills and education, we will be definitely convert this great chunk of the population to the human resource, the human capital. And this human capital will definitely going to contribute for the progress, development, economic development of this country in a very big way. And let me tell you that many country has got this kind of position in the past. Take the example of the East Asian countries like Japan, South Korea, Singapore. Many countries are there in even in Asia. They have had the privilege of what we call a demographic dividend. Means they have also passed, and they took the privilege, they took the advantage of the demographic dividend, means demographic potential. But so far, this case has not happened in our own country, unfortunately. So now still the time is there, because this kind of privilege and potential is going to continue only by 2050 or 55, because this kind of privilege stays only for 50-55 years. And this all has begun in our own country in 2005 or 2006. So almost 50% time has already been wasted. So only 15, 25 years are 25 or 30 years are only left with our own country, that whether we are going to use this, whether we are going to manage our population, or whether we are going to convert this population into the human resource is not. If we fail, unfortunately, let me tell you, definitely it is going to become the burden for this nation, because after the time of 2055, same pocket of population will fall into the category of what we call it the age, the old age, as the West is struggling very hard to dare to deal with the human security or the old age security people. So here, unless until we use this opportunity, means convert this challenge into the opportunity, I think we will not be able to think of the developed nation, in the sense that this population is going to contribute profoundly, so profoundly in the economic development, social development, political development, all kinds of development in our own country. So here is a good chance, opportunity, or golden opportunity for all of us. So as a conscious citizen of this great nation, we need to work in this direction. And already it has been well established that education, means more specifically the higher education, because education is education. Only for administrative purposes, we have divided, or we have divided into three categories, like primary education, secondary education, and tertiary education. Means higher education. No problem. But education, unless until we ensure quality in the primary and secondary education, we cannot think of the better education for higher education. So these all educations are important. So here now the question arises, what is the public expenditure? How much we are spending in order to ensure, in order to improve the quality of higher education? So here again, I would like to discuss with you that if you see our public expenditure in our own country, that is not good enough, that is not adequate enough. If you see the first national education policy, which was enacted way back in 1968, so at that time, it was recommended that 6% of the public expenditure, means GDP, would go for education as a whole. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Again, the same kind of thing was repeated in 1986 last national education policy. It was strongly recommended that 6% of the public expenditure, I mean 6% of the GDP would be definitely earmarked or would be spent for education as a whole. So if you see the scenario at that time, again, it made the same kind of hit as it happened in the 68. And right now, again, in this National Education Policy 2020, again, it is said that 6% of the GDP must go for education as a whole. Now it is the responsibility of all us to sensitize the society, sensitize the government, sensitize everybody that it becomes a need of the time to spend substantial means amount means at least 6% of the GDP for education. And I think a big chunk means big share of money or the GDP would go for higher education. If you see the scenario right now, it is around 2.6 or 2.5% is only given for education as a whole. So it is an alarming situation. It's not a healthy trend, as we know pretty well that those countries who could ignore two sectors like education and health, that could be only done at the cost of any society or any country for that matter. So we as an academician, conscious citizen of this great nation, we need to work in this area. As if you see the other neighboring countries or Asian countries like South Korea, Japan, and many more countries. Japan has taken the lead, we all know that, but I'm talking South Korea, even Malaysia or many countries, they spend 8 to 9% of their GDP for education. But we are unfortunately, we are not thinking in this direction because it is only found in the paper. So how we can realize this thing, we need to make aware of the people or the policy makers or the government, let me tell you that, so that we should do something much more in the field of higher education, more specifically the higher education, because we need to catch up, we need to develop, or even take the example of economic growth. It is around 6%. So unless many economists have already argued, they have already said that for making Vikshit Bharat or the developed nation by 2047, I think at least 8 to 9% GDP growth rate, annual growth rate is very much required. And here education can play and must play a very prominent role or positive role. They can contribute, it can contribute very profoundly. Then we can achieve the target. We can enhance the annual growth rate for achieving the lofty ideals and the dream and the vision of this great nation. So we are aspiring, but we should aspire, but at the same time we should also work in this direction. Then we can do it. So now let me now come giving these two or three propositions before you. In a larger picture, let me now come back to the higher education. What is the status of higher education in our own country, and how it is going to contribute for the development and the progress of the society? As it is said that education and the role of education in the progress and the economic and social development of any society means India. So what is the status of higher education in our own country, and what is the situation? Take the democracy or many social institutions. Unless until we are going to do some much more in the field of education, these all institutions, social institutions, are not going to be strengthened. These all institutions are heavily depending on the quality of higher education. So already I have flagged two very important points, means expansion to education and quality concern. These are the two very important. So we all know that what is the gross enrollment ratio. And here, mind you, one thing I'm just also, I would like to share with you that only by enhancing or increasing the gross enrollment ratio is not going to resolve the problem, because there's a catch within that. What is the catch? Catch in the sense that ours is a society which is highly differentiated. means the country majority of the population are living in the rural areas. Means India is a country of villages. And if you see the people who are, if you see this 26 or 27% gross enrollment ratio, this is not all inclusive. This is not all inclusive, means every sections of the society, like women, and the people who are living in the rural area, those who are marginalized sections of the society are excluded. So not only increasing expansion of education is of course very important, but at the same time we need to take care of inclusivity of education is again how we are going to make our education all inclusive, so that every section of the society would be included. Take the example of the male and the female. Women also constitute 50% of the total national population, as we all know that. And if we see the scenario of their presence and their participation, they are grossly underrepresented, especially in the top level positions, means administrative higher ups. Even in otherwise also, they are not represented. Their presence or their participation is not up to that mark. That number is inadequate. So we need to address this. So how we can make our society which will be gender sensitive or gender balance is one of the issues that along with this expansion, along with growth, this becomes very important. And take the example of the people who are living in the rural areas. We need to take them into the consideration, as all these institutions to which we are appreciating, and we are saying that 1,200 universities are located in our, have grown to 1,200 universities right now. Even these all institutions are located in urban areas, so the rural people are not able to send their children to the for acquiring education due to their poverty or inaccessibility. So it is said the education for all. So if you see the badge line of our own nation, that education for all, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, or anything for that, no consideration is there. But in practice, this situation is not there. So we as a teacher, we as a conscious citizen, we as a researcher, we should come with our idea how we will be able to work so that our society could be created in such a way that will be inclusive society, inclusive India. So yeah, when we talk of developed nation or the Viksit Bharat, so we should also dream that every section of the society would be the part and parcel of that part. So how we are going to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor is again the other issue. And these all challenges could be addressed. And this national education policy has the potential to challenge or to address all these challenges. So what is required that we as a teacher must come with our own ideas, come with our own way of thinking or way of approach, so that we will be able to create the society or with the help of, because we are basically the stakeholders of higher education, important stakeholders. We are not alone, but we are the very important stakeholder of higher education, because we are a teacher, which is considered, as we all know, that it is said that the destiny of any society or destiny of any country is created or shaped by the teachers. So we are basically the destiny makers. So hence, government and other stakeholders have realized the importance and significance of all teachers like all of us. So we must play our proactive role, so that we will be able to see India as a developed nation, of course, by 2047, so that we can reap the benefits of the developed nation. So giving this kind of idea and of introduction, let me now come to the higher education at the theoretical level, how it is contributing, what is the potential of higher education. So now I am just, you give me a minute so that I will be able to open my PPT to discuss with you. I hope you are watching. ये दिख रहा?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes, sir.
okay, that's
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Yes, sir.
That's nice.
Sir.
That's nice. Just hold on, please, for a minute.
Yes,
So what
sir.
I am basically going to do
Yes, sir.
over here is I am going to discuss with you, but we will have the break at 3:30, okay? And we will discuss. So I should not only keep on speaking, rather I should also give the chance to all of you to speak and to share your thoughts and ideas on this. Just for a minute, please. So, what is basically the philosophy of higher education? I think this is very important. I think already I have given a lot of food for thought. So basically, what is the philosophy of higher education? Here, my topic and the issue is to discuss the two very broad dimensions, means higher education and the society, means the contribution of higher education in developing the society, economic development, social development, political development, all kinds of development I am going to discuss. So what is the basic? Because it is the determining factor. It is defining element. So basically these higher education is based on four pillars, means they are going to understand, or higher education is going to do four functions. Means only with the help of higher education, we can enhance our intellect, knowledge, and we definitely see the research is nothing but the integral part of higher education. And we all know that knowledge production, what is the function of the university, what is the function of academic institution, is to produce knowledge, produce ideas, ideology, ideas, and ideational kind of things. And what do we do? Basically, after production of knowledge, producing knowledge, we impart the same to the coming generation, means the students. So seeking truth. So what is basically what we are all aspiring for, what we are all for, to just seek the truth. And we all know the scientific way through which we try to understand and promote critical thinking and conserving culture. So these are the four ideas. These are the four pillars on which basically higher education centers around. Means it is nothing but the enhancement of knowledge, seeking truth, promoting critical thinking. As we say that we, the academia or intellectual, have every right to be critical to the policy, to be critical to anything. So whatever the things are existing today, what do we do? And what is the function of the teachers? What is the function of the intellectuals? To challenge. So what do? We challenge. If something is existing right now, so we are not, means our purpose is not to just follow or status quo kind of things, but we start challenging why it is like this. And by doing this kind of exercise, we all know that the world has reached that level. And the changes are very rapid today. You all know that. And conserving culture means ideas, way of doing things. So these are the four pillars on which we all are looking forward. And only with this help, I think any society can be progressive, any society can be modernized, any society can think of resolving any conflict or any kind of I think bad kind of things, let me tell you. So what is the role of higher education in the society? I'm talking in generalistic sense of the term, and thereafter we will switch over and we will come specific to our own country. So what are the issues? Basically, we need to see the issues. Unless until we analyze the issues or the problems, challenges, we will not be able to understand the role and the function of higher education. And society is a very broad concept. Means Indian society, global society, or any kind of society, we all say that. So three broad issues are there. The first is about the changing world. See, what is today might not be tomorrow, means that would be different. So yesterday means yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There's a big gap between the two. And many times we say that I think you must hold the view that for the last 30 years, if you see the change, and if you measure the change of last 30, 40 years, you will not see the quantum of change, moment of change like that for the last 200 or 300 centuries. So the total amount of change, total volume of change to which we all are witnessing for the last 30 years, since 90s or since 80s, I think there's tremendous change, radical change has taken place. Even that has not happened in 18th or 19th, even 20th century, let me tell you. So that much change has taken place. So it's a challenge. Changing world is a challenge. So how we are going to cope up? See, what now we are talking a lot about pre-pandemic phase and the post-pandemic. I think it is a dividing line. Means pandemic has created the watershed in the history of the world, because pandemic has struck every part of the world, every country of the world. And the situation is definitely, now we are talking a lot about the artificial intelligence, AI world today, and and many more social media, we all know that. So the first challenge is, or the issue is the changing world scenario, changing society, let me tell you. Second is about three purposes. What are the purposes of higher education? What is the means? Unless until we understand the purpose of higher education, we will not be able to understand the role of higher education in the society. And the third is about the five key roles of higher education in order to bring a lot of transformation. So we are going to center around, we are going to discuss all this issue in greater details. So let me now go a little bit further, that as we all know, the society is changing very rapidly, many due to the globalization that leads to the rise of international trade, finance, transfer of digital tech, human mobility, and many more. See, if anything happens today in any part of the world, with the fraction of the second we get to know. Any happening, any mishappening is happening today in any parts of the world. We with no time we get to know. So this globalization that is in fact characterized by expansion of economic activity across national boundaries. So I think political boundary, let me tell you, is going to become or has become to a larger extent in many ways, not always, many ways, I think redundant and not it. See, if anything, we cannot stop any information. We cannot stop anywhere. So we are also getting and we are also transacting. So the political boundary or any kind of border has become very porous in many ways. So what we can do it is again how we are going to see in this post-pandemic era. I'm giving you one example for our own country that just I was looking that India is excelling in sending a lot of what we call it, getting a lot of remittances from around the world. India has acquired the first position in terms of the receipt of the remittances. The total amount that has gone up to $125 billion US dollar India has received in 2023. It's mind-boggling, let me tell you. And you must be wondering this, wow, what is good? It's a very good in the sense that this foreign exchange, these remittances are being used for the development of the country in order to eradicate poverty, in order to reduce unemployment. So many developmental activities can be done, is being done here with the help of the receipt. And that in terms of the China has got has been trailed on the third position by 67 billion only. In case of Mexico, I think it has even replaced China. So it's a good point that we are receiving. So how we are receiving these remittances, you all know that we are excelling and we have excelled in terms of the human capital, human resource. Our workers, our labor, our human capital is working around the world. So it is, I'm providing the data provided in the World Bank that 18 to 20 million Indians are working in different, especially in the GCC country, in the Gulf countries, and many more countries are there. So the outflow of the migration is basically the function of the inflow of the remittances. And here again, I am just reminding you that if we will be able to convert this population that is considered with a very working age group, which is overwhelming, so definitely we are going to excel and we are going to get much more remittances from outside the world, from outside the country, and that money and that remittances are going to solve many social evils or many inequality in our own economic inequality in our own country. So in a way, we should, how we are going to reap the benefits of this globalization. Again, it's not a curse. Globalization is inevitable. Let me tell you, if any challenge comes, as the pandemic struck the world, so is the case of India. We very smartly, we very boldly face these challenges. And what happened? I think education was the only the sector which was least affected. Why it was? Because we started using this technology online, we started transacting the knowledge to our students, and so not much effect. Of course, adverse effect was there, but not that much as economic aspect was hampered like that. So this globalization is, in fact, this is manifested in terms of international trade, investment, finance on account of free flow of goods, services, and the technology. The role of higher education has become prominent in order to meet the current challenges faced by the society. So how, see, uh, I'm just putting one more question, and in the form of the question that world has become very competitive. We are not alone. If we are going to produce human capital, means human resource, many more countries are doing, already they are doing. So we need to face the challenges, competitive, there will be competition. Take the example of South Asia. Every country, all these India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, even Nepal, they all are sending their labor or their human capital or human resource, whatever you name it, to different parts of the world in order to earn money, in order to reduce to a certain extent unemployment also there. So everybody, so there is a competition. So what kind of skills we are going to provide, seeing the requirement of the labor market, global labor market, we need to examine, we need to study, we need to do, so that according to that, our course curriculum, means our higher education, can become rather more relevant. So let me proceed further. Purpose of higher, the roles played by an institution are shaped, and the purposes and they have defined for themselves society. For good reasons, national higher education systems are diverse institutions. Like universities are characterized by different missions and educational purposes and the goals. We all know pretty well. They are also found in differing sizes, different configurations of academic programs, differing admissions requirement, and varying academic standards that are appropriate to specific purposes. So here it becomes very important. What is the local requirement? What is the national requirement? We need to understand. And this higher education has all potential to resolve. Take the example of gender discrimination or the gender, how we are going to make. Means if you study all our academic institutions, the purges, political share, labor participation, seeing all these facts, I think we can revise, we can rectify our course curriculum so that these issues could be addressed. As we know that there's one you all know, I don't know whether that has been discussed or not. There is one student diversity and inclusive education is one of the themes. I think here just I am saying that how we are going to make our education all inclusive, and diversity is inevitable, and that is also celebrated, and that should be taken in the positive direction. If we take it diversity, even there is a lot of differentiation in the class, in the sense that there would be the group of students that would be slow learners, there would be some students who would be fast learners. So how smartly we are going to deliver the goods or deliver the our classroom, or classroom communication, so that it could have maximum impact or the optimal impact in the classroom. Every student would be taught, every student would understand your delivery or your content to which you are delivering over here is. So seeing this thing, a lot of elasticity, lot of dynamism is there in higher education. And why education is all for? Immediate cause, our immediate purpose of education is to resolve the issues, immediate issues. Take the example of other, means ours is a society which is rural oriented. So how we are going to connect ourselves with the community, surrounding community, means the villages. So how we are going to adopt, what kind of issues we are going to incorporate in our own situation, in our own class. Because there are now diversity. If you see in the class, there would be some students who would come from the rural background, there would be some students who would come from the elite background. So we need to see all these challenges. And what is the meaning of inclusive? Means we need to address all this so that every student could be taught, or every student can understand you effectively. That is the purpose. So higher education is a rich cultural and scientific asset which enables personal development and promote economic, technological, and social changes. Very important. Means it's a rich cultural and scientific assets. Means this higher education which enables personal development and personality development, and of course it also it leads to economic, technological, and social change. Whatever the changes you are seeing in our own society, or for that matter any society, this is all due to the education. Higher education, and more specifically the higher education, technical education. See how we all are going to become more technological savvy is again very important. So that's why it is said that at least 6% of the GDP, and of course much more, even not more, less, but much more percentage of higher education, now of GDP must go seeing, or for understanding, for giving a lot of importance to higher education has become the need of the day. And of course, unless until we see these standards, means higher standard of higher education in terms of excellence, in terms of quality, in terms of the expansion, I think there will be serious case, there will be serious issue. So it promotes, means higher education also promotes exchange of knowledge, research, innovation, and equips students with all the skills needed to ever changing labor markets. Already I have seen that. See, in the 70s, just I'm just bringing you back that when there was an oil crisis which all took place in 1973 or 74, what happened? All of a sudden, over the night, all these sick or these ruling states became very, very rich. They acquired a lot because there was a oil price hike. So they thereafter they started to reconstruct its own economic activities and diversify its own. So there was a need of human resource. So at that time they started constructing houses and many things. So there was unskilled kind of labor was required. But if you see that today, I think they also need like the doctors, engineers, scientists, IT professionals, even in this region. So even the skills also get changed. So what kind of skills they need, labor skills or the human capital, accordingly we need to move. Then we will consolidate and we will outsmart in the market, and our labor, our human capital, our Indians will be in the labor market. So we need to understand this. For students in vulnerable circumstances, it is a what passport, economic security, and a stable future. So let me now, role of higher education cannot be understood in isolation. We all know that. I think we need to see the culture. We need to see the environment to which where we are going to play. The higher education must necessarily intersect and effectively engage with economic and social challenges at the local, national, regional, continental, and the global levels. Yes, that is so how the whole world is globalized. So here we need to have the challenge, we need to look at the local level. Means see the university, if you see the um, Yes, the parliament, because any university, central university is established with the act of parliament. And what happens in 2009, I think those states, Indian states, which did not have any central university, were given to establish the university. Take the example, even Bihar and many more, even Kerala, many Indian states had this kind of period. So what I am going to tell you that with the help of higher education, I think development could be seen. And the situation of Bihar is entirely different from the situation of other Indian states for that Kerala. So we need to see what kind of local requirement is there. So it's also, so here we need to have the challenge at the national, regional, continental, and the global level. As it is said that at least 20 university will come up and should come up which would have the global standards, means world standard. We need to create the not only 20, 100 university in our own country. Then when we can think of and then we can think of you all know that development, and we can catch up with the fast changing scenario. So what are the challenges? Means challenges include imperative economic growth and development, and there's an ability to compete globally, job creation, reduction, elimination of unemployment and poverty, effective delivery of social services. So these challenges are there through which, with the help of higher education, we can address. So what as already I have told you that if we need to catch up, if we need to think of the Vikshit Bharat, at least 8 to 9% of our annual growth would be the requirement is there. And for that, it can be only made possible if we increase or enhance the standard of higher education. Means research, development, everything is very much possible. And if you see the total scenario today, I'm just also putting some statistical facts on the figure, which becomes very important. At the time of independence, if you see the total size of the university, it was only 20 universities were established, were existing at that time. If you see today, I think the number has gone plus 1,200 university, including the private university. If you see, in case of the colleges, it was only 5 to 600 colleges were existing at the time. And now the number has gone up to 45,000 plus colleges are there. If you talk of the stand-alone institution, that is around 12,000 plus stand-alone institutions are there. So if you calculate, and then you will get to know that yes, we have made a spectacular progress. But so far as the case, if you consider the requirement of this nation, seeing the growth of population, I think again there's a serious catch. Hence, it is said that 20 years back, I think only 10 to 12% GER was there. At that time, many committee and commissions were constituted in 2006, I guess, National Knowledge Commission, and then Yaspal Committee, and they came with the idea that at that time, because there was fear, it was fixed that 15% GER would be required in the 12-5 plan. So what it was said that unless until we will have 1,500 means 1,500, 15 to 1,600 more academic institutions means universities were required. So now the question arose that where did the money come from? So taking that came into the minds, India decided that we will go by PPP, public-private partnership. So again, the issue is that the resources, how much resources we are having. So these all
Not audible, sir. Sir, you are not audible, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. You are not audible, sir, properly. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Screen is.
Yes. I think sir is disconnected. We will wait for sir. Within couple of times, sir will join and we will start. Okay. फॉरवर्ड करून टाकू काय आता काय आहे तर तुझं म्हणणं सांग
Hello.
Yeah, sir, you
Hello.
are audible. Yeah, audible, sir.
So
Audible.
sorry. I am so sorry. Sitting in Delhi, that too in the university, and power has gone.
Oh, sir.
Power has gone, so no issue. So just I have connected with my system, I
Yes, sir.
mean mobile. So just I'm talking. Hello. अभी बात कर रहे हैं थोड़ी. So now it's okay?
Yes, sir. Now it is okay. Please share your
Okay.
slides, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just you give me a minute
Yeah, sir. Please.
so that I could again say. So there's a disruption due to light, you know. I think there's a dark here, so light has gone up. So just I have put it through the mobile. So let me try, and by that time, light will, I think power will come. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Just for a minute, please. Are you watching this?
Yes, sir. Yes. It is visible, sir. Slide number 9. The
Okay.
challenges. Yes.
Now it is, I think, yeah. So let me now proceed further. If something, we the Indians have the habit how to manage everything. So how we can manage the crisis, we know pretty well. So role of higher education, we are talking. So let me now proceed. What are the challenges encompassed? Means what are the other challenges? Basically, in our own country, we all know that uh, like social justice, equity and redress, social justice, democratization of state and society, building of a culture of the human rights, creating a vibrant civil society, promoting a culture of vigorous and critical intellectual public discourse. Basically, this is also the very important and the function and the role of higher education. We know pretty well. I think, see the case of developing country or the South Asian countries, if you see the social institution like democratic institutions, that is, of course, there's a miles to go in this direction also. So some people say that we are very critical of our own kind of thing, and we should be. So unless until we would be critical, unless until we understand the limitation of all, I think there is no scope. Complacency you gives a lot of. We all know that nothing to be done. So what is basically, there's a lot of scope in order to improve the political institutions or democracy. See, it is sometimes said that it is only a electoral democracy and what we have procedural democracy. So how we can make this democracy, which is called as a substantive democracy or mature democracy again. And you all know that already, we know that ours is a society which is highly differentiated. See, only by achieving the per capita income and only becoming the, so only 8% as we are talking that annual growth rate is required in order to achieve the target of the developed nation. But how inclusive all is again. So per capita income will be definitely increasing, and that will be, but at the same time, we need to see within that whether everybody, every section, everyone is included or not. So that needs to be. So building a culture of the human rights means our rights. Of course, our duties are important. No, nobody will say that our duties are not important. But at the same time, if we are going to see the developed nation or the visa of the developed nation or the Viksit Bharat, so in that we are dreaming what kind of Viksit Bharat would be there. Definitely there would be gender balance. If gender is sensitive, if we are going to make our society a gender sensitive society, over there is no any kind of discrimination. Then definitely it would be a good idea, it would be a good thing. And if our democracy is also going to become rather more healthier and healthier, or the matured and matured, again, this is also important. And if we say that the vibrant civil society over there, the role of NGOs, the role of everybody would be there, any kind of restlessness. There will be no any kind of inequality, very perennial kind of inequality, perennial kind of poverty would not be there. So, and we would have freedom of right to speak for the betterment of the citizen, for the betterment of the society. So these all are the challenges. I mean, these all are the issues, and that can be addressed. That can be done by what we call it by the higher education. If we are going to make our higher education a robust system, as it is said that higher education is one of the largest system in the world, biggest system in the world. Of course, one of the biggest. It comes just after US and the China. But at the same time, this becomes very important that in terms of the quality, where do we stand? There is a serious case, there is a serious issue. So we need to see what can be done. As it is said that in terms as the many our function, the role and the responsibility of the teacher is not only to impart the knowledge to the future generation, but at the same time production of knowledge is equally important. So whether we are producing the knowledge, so there is a systemic issue within that. So how we are going to address this is again very, very important one. So this can be, when we talk of the critical intellectual public discourse, these all are the part of debate, discussion, this kind of training and the international seminar. We often go to attend seminars, simpers. What do we do? What is done there? We basically debate. We contest, we argue, we agree, we disagree. This is what, so in a way, we develop our, develop the society at the local level, at the national level, at the global level, at every level. So let us now go a little bit further. It is interesting to note that the higher education uh, also be guided and by a specific principles and the values. These are as follows. Means, yes, again, that needs to be taken into account. What are they actually? Equity and quality. I think again, higher education, even in society, social development. I think if you see, the social development is rather more comprehensive, more appropriate rather than economic development. When we say that economic development, so there's a need. We know that how basically we measure the economic development. Only statistical facts. If per capita income would be this much, yes, this year and that year has you can increase that much. So economic development has taken place. But here, social, when we talk of the social development, means it is rather more important in the sense that we need to see the equity within that, and democratization, academic freedom, institutional autonomy, effectiveness and efficiency, and public accountability. So this is again very important, that must be addressed, that must be taken by the intellectual or the higher education. The higher education must cultivate the knowledge, competency, and skills amongst the students. Outcome means economic development, social equity, and social development. There's a need for extensive restructuring of qualification and program to make curricular more congruent with the knowledge, expertise, and skills needs of the changing economy. The higher education has intrinsic significance as engagement between dedicated academics and students around humanities, intellectual, culture, and scientific inheritances. So again, these are very, very important. So what are basically, so we have discussed about the what are the purpose of education, and philosophically we have seen what is basically the higher education has the potential to see to it. So again, theoretically speaking, what is other thing that what are the key roles of higher education that can play, and that is playing, and that has the potential to play? So it is nothing but the cultivation of highly educated people. Means this is very much possible with the help of higher education. Means we can become doctors, we can become engineers, we can become research officer, we can become the person who can contribute and who are contributing immensely for the production, for the development, for redistribution, for everything for that matter. Research and the scholarship. See, I think it is said that, and if you see the weightage of research and scholarship is again very important in the sense that it comes under the purview of higher education. Means we cannot deny this fact that university is created in order to for research and development. To what extent we are doing? We are not doing, then we need to do it. As I told you that many funding agencies are there that provides the fund, like the DST, Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Biotechnology, Indian Council of Social Science. So many agencies are there. Even these agencies are not adequate enough. So now what is done is to create the NRA Foundation, and that is going to fund heavily to all the academic, if 1,200 academic institutions and 45,000 colleges. And we all know that in this, and again, I will strongly suggest and urge you to go through this national education policy, how the existing higher education, higher education in our country has been restructured. It has been restructured, it has been renovated, it has been changed, it has been done a lot of things. And it has been made in such a way that this has been created in this higher education. National education policy has been created in such a way that it will create, or it will translate, or it will convert the education system in our own country in such a way that it will start producing the employable youth. It will also give a lot of research input. On the basis of that, many policy could be formulated, and that policy will be definitely made so effective in order to address all the challenges relating to poverty, unemployment, and whatever the 17 goals have been given in the sustainable development goals. We all know that. So the era of millennium development goal is over. So now from 2015, we are talking and we are dealing with the sustainable development goals. Again, over there, eradication of poverty, unemployment, and gender sensitivity, means gender equality, and then quality education, uh, environment conservation. All these issues have been taken into account, and the global partnership, that is the last goal of the 17 goals. I think that is very, very important. Means if we need to bring change, we need to eradicate all these social evils, but at the same time, we need to take the help from the other partner, other countries to whom we are looking forward. So let us now go a little bit further. Now, I think taking all this into the mind, now let us come back to our own country. Means what is the global scenario? So I am sure that I have discussed a lot. So I think it is. Can I ask you? Can I request you to? I have given the global picture, theoretical proposition, and what could be the role of the higher education, and how it can bring a change or transformation in the society. I have discussed with you. So now we are going to discuss the empirical reality of this higher education, what kind of change we have brought with the help of higher education, what we have done, and how this national education policy is going to have the impact in our own country. That is very important. So here it is said that we need this higher education, this national education policy is aspiring to make us global citizen. So many more things are there. So we will discuss. But here I am just asking you to kindly feel free to ask the question, give your own comments, then we will proceed and we will move on to the second part of our own discussion, means Indian education system and Indian society, means society of Indian society and the role of higher education in making progress or development in Indian society we will discuss. So if you have any question, I will be very happy to take up your question. Yes, please. Are you hearing me? Hello.
yes sir, yes sir.
हाँ
Yes, sir.
अब आप लोग थोड़ा सा just question पूछिए, then we will have the break, and thereafter we will move on to the other second part of our discussion or second part of our lecture. Feel free, आप कुछ भी पूछिए, जो कि for the last more than an hour I am speaking. So I am expecting that you must have proposed some questions. It must have strike to your mind that yes, how it is and why it is so. कितने लोग हैं आप सब? अभी कितना दिखा रहे हैं? Oh my God. Yes, please. Any question, please?
Yes, sir. I am Dr. Rajkumar Sharma.
रोकिए, आपको 1 मिनट हम इसको नीचे डाल दे रहे हैं, ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. And then I think you have the question, so I will be very happy to take up your question, please. Just for a minute. I think many things stop here. Yes, please. Question
Yes,
came.
there is one question, sir. In South State, there is so many corporate colleges are there,
Okay.
where they are going through the industry-oriented courses and industry-based courses, where they are teaching to the students, classroom teaching, internship, and direct placement. That kind
Okay.
of style is there in that South State colleges. So that we can apply in all over India, sir.
I think in this national education policy, it is very explicitly, it has been said, it has been directed that there's no other way out, but we need to make our curriculum, we need to make our entire course or entire system of education that would have the employment oriented. We must agree with the fact that the immediate purpose or immediate requirement of education is to provide employment. We cannot deny this fact. Philosophically, we can say that education brings enlightenment. Intellectuals discourse is also requirement. All these things are, but immediate reason or requirement or the need of the education is to provide employment. Means unless until we are employed, we will not be able to contribute for the progress, for the development, or bringing prosperity in the society. So we cannot deny. And how it could be done? So unless until we will have the linkages between academia and the industry, what would be the requirement of the industry? What would be the requirement of the labor market? What would be the requirement of the global situation, global society, or the post-pandemic time? We need to see. And if we will not see, if we don't consider, I think we are going to perish. We are going to be misfit for the system. And here, this national education policy has been rightly said, it has been said that we need to move in this direction also. Of course, we cannot say that the purpose of education is only to provide employment. But one of the immediate need of the education is to provide employment. And of course, philosophically, it is for discourse, it is for intellectual research, it is also for applied research, it is also for abstract research, it is also for many kind of things. We cannot deny this fact. But we need to consider this issue into the mind that we need to have the collaboration between the two. And they should be brought into the academia so that we can realize and we can understand the inevitable. That's why all have been discussing. So we cannot detach ourselves. Our academic institution cannot detach ourselves from the reality, existing reality. That's why it is a lot changes have been taking place. So we need to take all this issue into the consideration. Unless until we do, I think the purpose of education is not going to be solved and it will become obsolete, let me tell you also. So we need to be realistic, and not only South India, even North India, we need to do it. And there's no escape of that one. Then we can become competitive and we will be globally competent as we are. So we need to bring excellence in the higher education, taking all this issue into the, I mean, applied aspect, and all these aspects are very important. Isko to karna padega, that there's no other escape. I think we need to follow religiously, let me tell you that. I think there should be no disjunction between the two. There will be congruence between the two. We understand them, they should understand us. And of course, at the same time, we should become the leader. We should become the guiding principle. Yes, this is your requirement. We are going to fulfill. But this would be your requirement in future. I am guiding you. I am saying you, yes, immediate requirement would be like this. But in future, in distant future, your industry is going to be like that. So we can become the torchbearer, we can become the leading light in this direction also. Today you are needing this kind of situation of these persons or the employees, but after 20 years down the line, I think you will need this. So this is also the torch bearer, means we can see the light, we can show the light, we can guide them, we can give the direction. So this is also true. But we are far behind today in the sense that so far we are not able to fulfill their requirement, means whatever their requirement, we have nothing to do with. Whatever we are doing, we don't know what we are doing. So we need to make our system employable, or conjunction between the two academia and the industry has become the lead of the day to be in tandem with or to be connected with to each other, so that we will fulfill their requirement, and in a way we are going to contribute for the progress and prosperity of the society. Yes, please. Or kuch, anything more? Yes, Raj Kumar Sharma ji. Hello. Hello. Are you hearing me? अच्छा, फरहत पटेल जी, बताएं बताएं, आप कुछ पूछना है वैसे किसी को?
No, sir.
So can we have the break for 15 minutes? Is there any scope for break or no break?
Sir, no need break. You can continue, sir. We are ready to.
Okay, okay. So is there any question? Otherwise, we will move on to the other part. I don't know. There is a serious, I think. I am giving just for respite. 5 minutes is okay for respite. We will do it after 5 minutes. Okay.
One question is there. It is. Yes, sir. I am asking about cluster universities. That's in NEP. That's the government trying to do the cluster universities, and means granted colleges and non-granted colleges. They want to join each other and create a new university. For this, can you guide us? What is the role of granted college, or what is the method of payment? Both college.
No, you just repeat. I didn't get it. What you are saying? आप क्या बताया? मैं सुन नहीं. I am not able to hear you. Just repeat, then I will be able to answer you.
Yes, sir. Yes. I
Sandeep.
want to ask you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sandeep is speaking, I guess.
What, sir?
Sandeep is speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
आप बोलें, बताएं.
I want to ask the concept of cluster universities. New
Cluster,
concept in
okay,
NEP.
okay. Cluster university, okay.
Cluster.
Okay.
But then tell about something that what is the method of payments to granted colleges and non-granted colleges? What is the method that's discuss about is very much having discussed about it in colleges and in society. So I want to clear what is.
I think you are right. I think light power has come, so no issue. So what I am telling you, देखिए ये since we have already implemented and we are going to implement this national NEP, National Education Policy 2020. Many problems are going to crop up. We cannot deny this. Many challenges would be there because some of the impediment too we never thought it. But whatever you are talking is completely the applied or operational issues. I think with the passage of time, this all will be dealt with. Why it has been done? You need to understand the philosophy of doing this cluster university or autonomous colleges, why it has been done. See, at the time of independence, only few universities were there. At that time, what we thought that there would be some affiliated kind of concept we took into the consideration. And see, even in Maharashtra, many universities were there. They were having the affiliation of more than 500 colleges. So it becomes very cumbersome, In order to overcome these challenges, I think cluster, university, autonomous college, all these have come, and that is going to face in the that is going to be do away with a phased manner. Means affiliation kind of things are going. You are saying that I think it can be resolved at those who are holding the key position in the cluster university or something like this. Is all completely local issue or a specific issue. I think at the policy level, when you ask me, I think there's no problem. I think it could be resolved. And as a see, any university or any college is given the charge of some eminent personality like principal and the vice chancellor. So they need to use their wisdom, taking the policy matter, taking the rules into the mind. I think this is very much possible. We cannot deny these facts. I think this is where this could be resolved. And talk to the higher ups. I think the issue would be resolved. Yes, Sandeep ji.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
So after 10 minutes, we are resuming again and then we will discuss. Okay? It's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just give me a respite so that you could also have some respite and then me too also. And then we'll begin. By that time, just we are switching. I'm switching over to the light. Power has come up now. So give me a minute. Give some time. So we'll join at again. Let me tell you, 45 we are joining. Okay, 3:45. It's fine.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
3:45 sharp. We are joining again. You remain join. I think just I'm putting this. इसको तो नीचे डाल डाल सकते हैं या इसमें ऐड भी तो हो जाता है इसके बाद भी तो खुल जाता है ना अपना ये नीचे से खोलना पड़ेगा फिर
ये तो खुली मिनिमाइज करके तो खुल ही जाएगा ये तो खुल गया इसका रीस्टोर नहीं हो रहा है
भी देख रहे हैं हो जाएगा गूगल क्रोम
इस पे
आ जाए बाबा
कर था ना
किस पे कर दो सर स्टार्ट
क्या चीज कोई आ रहा है क्या दिखाओ तो कौन कर रहा है हेलो ये तो अननोन को उठाना ही जुल्म है वैसे।
नहीं, इस पे तुम लिख रहे थे और ये बंद हो गया।
नहीं लिख नहीं रहे थे, डिपॉजिट में डाल रहे हो।
अच्छा अच्छा। हाँ तो वो तो फिर
वो चला गया।
हाँ, शायद वहीं से रुका होगा, फिर से ऊपर रुका, फिर ये है ना, वहां से स्टार्ट करोगे तो जितना लिया होगा ना उसके ऊपर फिर कर लेगा। हाँ, नहीं होगा तो फिर से स्टार्ट करेगा।
अपना टाइम लेता है ना अपलोड होने में।
उसको चेंज करवाओ, वो देखो, नहीं तो तुम्हारा ऐसे ही पैसा। ये कितना है आप मुशर्रफ लिखते हैं ना, शायद हो, एक मिनट देख लें कहीं शायद हो।
मैं इससे 6 डबल आ,
मो- मो-
ये तो आ गया सर।
हाँ वही है, नहीं आ जाएगा, वो तो है इसमें तो। Hello. Hello. Can we start now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now you all are ready. So thank you. We are starting and then it's showing visible. Dikh raha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we are going to discuss the impact of globalization in Indian higher education system, and then we will see how Indian higher education system is contributing for India's development. We will see to it. So in India, the profound impact of globalization on higher education sector is there. Indian higher education institutions are to equip students of their competencies necessary to thrive in the globalized. Means we need to higher education means in this globalized. We cannot say that higher education system to which we all are having would unless until have what we call it extraordinary good or the excellent. I think we will not be able to compete in the our students are not going to compete in the global labor market. So our standard of higher education should be enhanced, should be increased so that we can compete in the labor market. The higher education system are to prepare students for the challenges and opportunities of the global market. As India integrates further into the global economy, the skills required by the workforce have undergone a significant transformation. We all know that. Means our economy, and when we see up the Indian economy is very much integrated with the global economy. So is the case of any country. So globalization has underscored the importance of all these things, current communication, adaptability, and critical thinking. This kind of environment encourages students to work in multicultural environment, multicultural society. So how we are basically preparing our students for the global economy is very Indian higher education institutions are responsible for preparation of students to excel in this rapidly changing globalized scenario. So what are the strategy that we need to do this? Here again, I think this is very much important that what are the system? How we are going to ameliorate, how we are going to bring a lot of change in the existing higher education system. We all know that we have our own system, which is called as the robust system, one of the biggest system, largest system. But in terms of quality, there is a serious clash. There is serious problem, and many more things are. We need to restructure our education system as a whole, especially the higher education system. And we have started doing this. Now there would be 4 year. I'm giving you one illustration here that is very important. That ABC you must have heard means academic bank of credit. And the other point to which I would like to bring to your notice that 4 year now there will be. I think it has been introduced in my university. It must be introduced in your college or the university as well. So what is that? What is the special feature or salient feature of that one is if you complete or your student would complete 1 year, he or she would be given the certificate after completion of 1 year. And after completing 2 years diploma, and then after 3 years one would get a degree, and after the completion of final four years one would get the degree with honors or research. So this kind of restructuring has been done. So like this many things have been done. So see how our system has been made a little bit or more flexible or and dynamic. So in the past, what happened? If you wish to complete 1 year, you would after completion of 1 year, you would not be given any kind of degree, certificate, diploma, or anything. So in order to meet the challenge, a fluid situation, changing scenario, I think it would be a bit, it is now, it carries weight. And after doing 1 year, 2 years, one can join anywhere and he or she would complete for honors degree or something like that. So it's become very important. And you deposit your credit and everything, and you can encash anywhere whenever it is required. So here, like that, as it is said in this national education policy, that we need to make our education system or our education institution multidisciplinary and holistic or interdisciplinary. So it has already been said by 35, every institution of this country would be interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, holistic approach is very important. So see here, now our curriculum would be, we need to develop our holistic curriculum development in such a way that that would have the potential, that would have the capability and capacity to meet all the challenges pertaining to. So why, what is the need to make it interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary? Because the situation and the issues which have emerged today has become very, very complex and bigger unless until we come with different approaches like cafeteria approaches, more holistic and multidisciplinary, we will not be able to provide the possible solution. So this becomes very important. And here, our higher education system would need to focus on this, means holistic curriculum development has become the need of the day. How we will do that? Again, we need to see the situation at the local level, national level, even at the global level. This has become very necessary. If it is missing in our own course curriculum, we need to take into the consideration. And for that, what we can do it, we have multiple kind of academic bodies like EC, AC, management. So whatever the procedure are there, we may need to do this. So this is nothing but the requirement of this national education policy, and this policy has all these kind of provision so that we can meet. Emphasis on soft skills, very important one, let me tell you. And what is soft skills? Again, I think there's a lecture, I think one full length lecture would be organized or the training should be there. Soft skills means if I have passed out graduation, that is not good enough. So what kind of skills is there? What kind of, to what extent, what is the level of my communication? Soft power, soft skills, these all, and leadership, what kind of acumen I have cultivated in my personality. How I'm going to see in management, your appearance, your way of doing, your way of talking matters a lot. So I am just giving you one example. Yeah, demonizing no one, I think giving not much respect, I think giving due respect to everyone. I think see case, I think soft skills are very much important for those who have done their course of technology and like this. I think soft skills play very important role for getting employment, for getting a lot of status and everything in the society. So today's in contemporary times, if you have these skills and you are going to impress anyone, you are going to get anything in the world, you are going to excel anything in the world. Your degree is not good enough. I mean, that is called the hard skills. If you have done your master's, PhD, or delete, no matter. But this is altogether different in the sense that if I have done my PhD, doesn't it's not necessarily required that I have all the skills which is required. So soft skills have become very important, and we need to cultivate in today's time. And we need to take into the consideration those who have done their engineering courses or like that courses, or for that matter any. I think this kind of equipment has become the need of the experiential learning. We all know that how it will be possible unless until you all know the internship and many things. If I have done my engineering of 1 year or 2 years complete, so I should be put into the task so that I could have the experience also. And here it is said that the global exposure, again is very important. So sometimes and many times, so many times now it has become the need of the day to go to some of the top level institutions of the world for seminars, symposium, for some training, for some sort of courses, and for that matter to see to visually what is happening in the University of Stanford, Oxford, and Cambridge, or for that matter any best institutions available in the world. So ranking is being done. So on the basis of that, if your institution is sending you or someone, I think global exposure has become the need of the day in order to develop the overall personality. Lifelong learning and skill upgradation. Again, what is this? See, I think education, acquiring education, learning is a never-ending process. It has nothing to do with, you must study the book written by Daniel Bell, which is said that from cradle to grave, how one learns throughout his or her life. I think it has become the, see, if I am a professor, you are a professor, no matter. If we are learning.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही सर।
Hello.
Sir, okay, sir.
Now
Okay.
today lot of problems in the networks. Now it's fine.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir,
Okay.
carry on.
Okay, just give me a minute, please, so that I was just discussing with this slide. Where slide कहाँ चला गया? Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so what I was discussing with you that global lifelong learning and skill upgradation. So let us proceed further. Okay, now it is showing.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a need for training of the academic staff. Again, is very important to compete these all. I think globalization, rapid change in higher education, knowledge is doubling every 4, 5, or 10 years. So there's a need of training of professional is central to the quality of higher education. So quality improvement has become the need of the day today. So here again, it becomes very important to deal with all these things. So what are the current and the future challenges today? So already we have discussed this thing in details. So I'm not going to dwell upon. So see, already we know that more than 15 lakhs teachers are there in our countries. So this, with the help of this program, we all need to understand all this. Okay, so what are the challenges basically we are going to face over here to meet all these things? We all know that there is an issue relating to financial crunches. All the time we say that there is a financial crunch. but we need to mobilize the resources. Unless until we are going to mobilize the resources, I think, and we need to also give more focus on higher education. Already we know that 0.8 or 0.6% only public expenditure is done in this area. So how we can think?
स्लाइड नहीं दिख रही है
हेलो,
स्लाइड दिख नहीं रही है सर
स्लाइड नहीं दिख रही है?
नहीं नहीं सर
Just for a second, please. अभी नहीं दिख रही है? ओके,
नहीं सर
आप एक काम कर रहे हैं, उसको फिर हम दोबारा से खोल रहे हैं, तब जाकर के शायद दिखे वैसे. Just for a second. हेलो,
हाँ हाँ सर
हेलो, हाँ हाँ, अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं. Sorry, just a second, please. Okay. Now it's okay. It's visible now.
Yes, sir.
Now it's visible. Okay. Okay. So let us now proceed further. So already we have discussed a lot. I think I'm not going to dwell upon much more over here. So let me now skip this and then go a little bit earlier. So what kind of a strategy basically we need to bring a lot of change? Means strategy for staff, means the academic staff, can be done at the national, provincial, and the institutional level. And here it becomes very important for all the institution to consider each staff, means academic staff, administrative staff, and support personnel. Unless until we do this, I think we cannot meet the challenges created by the society. So here there are equally rapid changes in the management process, techniques, and technology, which are to be learned by the administrative and support staff. So here it is said that training becomes very essential for each and every stakeholders of higher education. Then we will be able to discuss whatever the challenges we have discussed. So we will be able to convert all the challenges into the opportunity. So here, of course, teaching staff is one of the very important one. So already we have discussed all these challenges while discussing what is the scenario today. We all know it. So I'm not going to dwell upon, just I'm showing this slide. And financial constant and shortage of the finance, many times it is said that it is a challenge. As it is said that the issues of inadequacies is also there. Means if you visit any academic institution in our own country, there is a shortage of physical infrastructure, not very healthy academic environment is there. So academic environments or what we call it teaching environment or research environment is missing. So how we are going to cultivate? Because we need to develop this very robust system, is one of the biggest largest systems, so that we could deliver the best and we could create excellence. We can bring excellence, we can create excellence. Our product, our students will be made competitive at the global level. Unless until we do, we can improve. And for that matter, financial constraint is expressed. But we need to see, already we have seen that at least 6 to 7% of our GDP must go for education. And equally important aspect, that is called the health and this education. These are the two sectors that must be taken into the consideration. So here it is said that only 0.6% of the total 3 to 4% of the GDP, which is earmarked, only I think at least 2% or 2 to 3% must be given for higher education as a whole. So already we have said that robust system is there, but we need to make it more robust in the sense that more larger and larger, so that we will be able to address and we will be able to convert this, we will be able to reap the benefits of this demographic dividend. we can be able to convert this population into the human capital or the human resource. This is very important. And what is the expectation on the? I'm just here focusing about all the teachers, like all of us, what basically we should do in order to play our role. There is an ability to handle a growing proportion of students and the diversity of the classrooms. How we are going to address the diversity, how we are going to develop the communication with the students. So now we are talking a lot, or in this national education policy, it is said that we need to create the class which would be learner centric, means student centric. So we make the not the teacher centric but the student centric has become the need. Then maximum output or can come out of that one. So it's become how we can develop the skills, and again the faculty should be outlook, means we should be very sensitive to the needs of the society. So far, if you see, unfortunately, we are not very much concerned with the sensitivities of the society or the requirements of the society. Means requirements of the society or taking the view of the academia of the industry. Means when we talk of the society, means society is all inclusive. Everything is there. So if we are going to meet the aspiration of the society, we need to move according to that one. Means academia and the industry should come together close rather, and they could understand their requirements. The academic institution must take their requirement into the mind. Accordingly we can move, and we could prepare our students curriculum and everything, and we should take the lead in this direction that what would the requirement of the industry after 20 years down the line? We need to guide them. We need to provide the guidelines and the road. We basically we need to prepare the roadmap for them. Then we can do much proactive role in this direction. Already we have also discussed about all this, the whole process. I think just I'm showing to reiterate, means our system, higher education system or education system as is a very serious concern. I mean, 86 long back, quality in higher education was its major concern. It is still now, Kothari, whatever he has said, and many committee, with the help of many committee and commissions report, we get to know that the whole process of higher education has become dysfunctional, producing several unemployable youths, young and women, as rightly pointed out by the court. Long back, 64, there was a committee. I think this situation is still continuing. So we miles to go in this direction. And technological change affects all disciplines. So what basically how we are going to reap the benefits of this technology or the artificial intelligence, and many more things. And then already I have also discussed with you that there is a need to improve women's participation everywhere for that matter. See, for the last many years, we have been saying, arguing that 33% of the pageants of the women should be in the parliament or the assembly. So far, we are just dragging all this. So it is not. And at the labor participation or any sector of the economic activities, they are grossly underrepresented. So we need to. So if we are not going to do, means we are going to ignore the 50% of the total population of our own country. And if we are going to do this, I think we cannot think of a better society, progressive society, equitable society. So here my purpose is to just discuss with you so that we can become sensitive enough to all these issues like equity and equitable social justice and everything for that matter is again here it is said that changing demands of the labor market. The demand of the market is changing like that. So there should be response to national or regional demands. There should be pattern of employment that are also changing. They need to change the course content accordingly. Means course content or the course curriculum must be changes. And how it can be done? I think I'm not saying anything new, but again, it is important that we need to see this thing In order to meet the challenge, management of the institution need to respond positively. So there's a need to be responsive and able to change accordance with the changing policy of the government, and there should be greater awareness of international perspective in the content of the course. The course curriculum must be keeping employers, government, and the students into the mind while preparing this. So there is a need for inter-institutional cooperation and the growing awareness of the institution's role in national development, its contribution in local community, and as a research emphasis on quality teaching as well as the research goal for the career. So what is basically here, just I need to focus and what kind of competencies we need to develop. Of course, we are competent. No, we cannot deny this fact. We are not. But again, there's a need to rethink, resensitize ourselves. So there should be an awareness and understanding of different ways in which students learn knowledge, skills, and relating to assessment and evaluation of students to help them learn. There should be commitment in the discipline and maintaining of professional standards and the knowledge. Just a second. Yeah. So what basically I am going to discuss with you that unless until we all become, of course, competent, but we need to see the requirement of the time, today's requirement, accordingly we move. Like take the example of national education policy. We must study very deeply because it is expected on the part of the society, more specifically on the part of the policymakers, that we are going to facilitate in its implementation of the national policy. And our role has been well acknowledged that we are going to play our proactive role in the sense that unless until we do it, I think this policy is not going to be implemented. That policy is not going to reap or bring the dividend of this thing is very, very important. So here our role becomes very important, and it is expected that we, the teachers, must play our role. As it is said already, I have told you that we have already said that destiny of this country, a destiny of any society is shaped in the class creative. We are basically the destiny makers. And if we wish to bring or we wish to make our democracy strong, or democratic institution strong, we need to work at this educational level. All these institutions are interconnected. So if we create the healthy atmosphere or healthy culture, if we make our higher education extraordinary well, excellent, I think the output or those people who would go through this, because everybody is going through this education system. If something is wrong in the administration, if something is wrong is anyone elsewhere, I think this system should be held responsible, and to which we all are the part. And we are not alone held responsible, there's no doubt. But we should own our own responsibility. See, and this sector, means higher education sector, more specifically, is very, very important, to which it is directly related to development, social development, political development, economic development. All kind of development is basically based on the quality of education or the standard of education, to which we need to enhance, we need to reach. We need to play our role in terms of that. And of course, we should work in the field of research, production of knowledge, new perspective, new understanding, new application as how this system or research could be done, that could provide the possible solution to this world or to this society. That is very important. So academic staff in their teaching role is of course very important, and equally important role over here is again means two. I think our job is not only confined to two. Major role is of course research, teaching, these two, extension, how with the help of this our community, means our neighborhood community, is going to be benefited. As it is said that in this policy, it is said that we need to just adopt some of the villages. We should go there and impart training. We try to understand their issues to which they face. I think this kind of issues have come up, and we are going to do, and we are playing our role. So our role is multifarious, our role is multiple, to which we all are expecting to be played. So here, following skills for researchers. So we all know that here in our own country, I think the quality of research, even in terms of the quantity, we don't stand anywhere. If you make the comparison with China, United States of America, and many more countries. So in terms of there is a serious catch in terms of the quality. See, if you see the top level institutions in the world, in top level institution in our own country, the contribution in the field of discovery, invention, innovation, research is again serious problem. Uh, if you see in Europe, all these important discoveries and inventions have taken place in the university system. But here the situation is just otherwise. So we need to ponder, we need to think, and we all have been assembled. So see the case of proposal writing. I'm just because there would be lecture when the research and development will be discussed. I think just you can ask the question. How to prepare a good research proposal is a very serious issue in our own country. Even if I don't know, how can I guide, how can I supervise or play students, PhD scholar, or even master class students? How can I guide if I don't know the techniques, tools, techniques, and skills? If I'm not a skill, if I'm lacking skills in this area, I cannot. And it's ongoing process, it's ongoing trend. I think this is very important. And today, even today, I think sometimes we say that our proposal, our project is rejected and that is not accepted. I think it all depends how smartly we have written, how skillful we have written. uh, there's no dearth of money, there's no dearth of research, I think funds. Even today, I think if we write a very good research proposal, I think we can be able to give, we can be able to. And why research? Let me tell you why research. Again, there's a direct connection with the society. See, unemployment is there in our own country, poverty is there in our own country, gender discrimination is there in our own country. So who will do this? We as an academic can address these challenges to make the society a better society. So it is a part and parcel of higher education. Means research, teaching, transaction of knowledge, these all are the part and integral part of the education academia. And for seeing a better society, progressive society, modern society, post-pandemic society, or equitable society, which is based on uh, gender justice or social justice, and there would be any kind of problem. I think we need to address all these contemporary challenges, and of course, for that money is required. For that, again, good kind of research proposal has become the need of the day. So how we can develop the research proposal? I think again, we need to discuss what are the steps, what are the tools and techniques that is required. I think when you discuss this research development innovation, I think that is again, there's a missing point, especially in the higher education, that we don't meet the global standards. India has the potential. We have the potential, but in terms of the quality, again, see the PhD, quality of the PhD to which we all are. Even number wise, we are again negligible. 0.6% only is there. So, but again, in terms of the qualities, I think a very recently University Grants Commission constituted one committee to evaluate the PhD thesis of the last 10 years. You can imagine what kind of result would be there. So seeing all these things, NRF is going to be established, through which we can get the funds. Again, we need to be competitive in the sense that, and it is clearly said that we are not going to do the research alone, but we need to take the help or take, you can jointly deliver, you can jointly do this kind of exercise, taking the people from your own university, outside the university, even you can go beyond the boundary of the nation. I think here it is the requirement of the time, because in this globalized era, we all know that how we are going to reap the benefits of this. Some people would say that globalization has created havoc. I agree. But how you are going to extract out of that is again very important. It is also said that it has created, vitiated the culture. I think culture, if you say the culture as such, is nothing impure or pure kind of things. And cultural elements, I think we are learning, we are also giving many cultural traits of the elements to the world. At the same time, we have also adopted many things. So acculturation is taking place. That is also a very healthy trend. So now the day will not far off that we will talk about the global culture or global civilization, because we all are going to be interconnected. We all are connected, interconnected. We are going to become very closer and closer to each other. And so how we can work for the entire humanity has become the aspiration, and that should be the aspiration of. See, university. What is the meaning of university? We all understand. I hope you all are listening me. I am seeing one photograph,
Yes,
Dr. Parveen
we are
Gulhan.
listening. We are listening.
Then I thought that we are connected. Okay, I
We
think
are listening, sir.
okay.
Always listening.
That's great.
Listening.
That's great. That's great. So let us proceed further. Now, taking all these, how we can learn from each other so that we can be globally competitive, academically competitive globally. You must have heard that very recently. I think now the boundary of our own country has been opened. Even foreign university is being invited to our own country. So what is going to happen? I think there would be competition. Let us hope that there would be healthy competition. Means, so I think that regulation or the bill has already been passed, that any university of the world would come to India and they would open their off campus, or they could establish their, ideally, I think technically or on paper it has been there. So now it is said that what is going to happen basically, already that much universities and academic institutions are there. So here, why it is done? So that we can reap the benefits of the global faculty, or the excellent faculty, or extraordinary faculty. So if they open, and we need to also increase the gross enrollment ratio. So many, and of course, mind you, I think I have said that we need to take the social equity into the mind while increasing the number. So number is not going to serve the real purpose, but rather if we take all issues into the consideration is going to. So here, in order to compete our higher education with global standard, there is need to take the following steps. Just a little bit suggestion. Regulating the entry of the foreign university. Don't you agree that it would be so? Otherwise, if Stanford is coming and establish their own institution, India is fine. Even Oxford is coming. But don't you think that even the bogus universities are also in foreign countries? All these universities are not good enough. So if we blindly allow every university to come to our own country, so they will create ruckus, they will create problem. If the good universities are coming, so for that matter, we need to evolve the regulation by the government of the country. Then setting quality standards, providing financial support for internationalization, and promoting international collaboration. I think if we are going to do this kind of exercise, definitely be able to meet all these challenges to which we all are facing. But the first one is that only we could allow the university which is good, it means extraordinary or better, or those who have already been, what we said, that that has been accredited, or what is basically ranked, that has been ranked by Times Higher Supplement, and many recognized bodies are there. So here, I think I should not talk much about that, but here I would like to bring to your notice that coordinated effort is required on the part of each stakeholder to bring excellence in higher education. So who is basically the stakeholders in higher education? The Government of India, policy makers, we the teachers, and then top level management, including vice chancellor and administrative staff and support staff. So we need to do if we are going to bring excellence in higher education, if we impart training and if we give emphasis, so what is expected on the part of the government? It is expected that public expenditure should be taken into account, that should be increased. On the part of the policymakers, they claim and they would say that we have given a good policy. If something is wrong with the policy, something is otherwise in the policy, we as a academic must suggest, give recommendation, because we are practitioners, we are doing our exercises. So take the example of vice chancellor. What is there? Or or what we call it, the directors. It is said that I think there's a study which was done in the past, and we got to know that top level institutes, means these all are not of the mark. Means the people who are going to hold the key position, like vice president, means president of the university, or the vice chancellor of the university, or directors of all top level institutions, they are not they are found to be substandard, they are not found to be visionary, they lack this kind of leadership quality. So it is known, and you will surprised to know that 2018 Government of India took the initiative to impart the training of all these professors, potential administrators, for giving the exposure, so that when they get the chance, or when they get the responsibility to head the institution, they would be found to be visionary, and they could lead the institutions in the right direction. So it was called Leadership for Academician program. Unfortunately, that program was derailed due to the onset of this pandemic. Hello. 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 Can I request my colleagues, some of the colleagues who have put their audio on, can they be requested to put off their mic, please? There is a problem on their part that who is speaking, please? Can I request you, please, to kindly put your audio off, please? Yes.
सीमा सीमा वाचानी मैडम, आपका वीडियो माइक म्यूट कीजिए.
माइक म्यूट कर दीजिए प्लीज. देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम, देयर इज डिस्टरबेंस, प्लीज.
सीमा वाचानी मैडम माइक म्यूट कीजिए.
Yes. Okay, so now let us proceed. So already we have discussed about there should be coordination on the part of each and every stakeholder to bring excellence in the higher education. Only teaching staff is not good enough. Of course, they are important stakeholders, but at the same time, top level management, policy makers, or even government, or everybody, if we work in this direction, then it could be brought excellence. And if we will be able to bring excellence, definitely it is going to have the direct positive impact in the society, and the progress of society will be definitely put on the right track. Second point is government must create an enabling environment for Indian university to thrive globally. Again, I think the policy to which we all are having should be promotional, means of course government has to do a lot in this direction, then we can compete globally. Means see the case of 40% of the positions in the university, 40 to 50% of the central universities. I think I am saying not in the abstract, but not in the year. I think some time before, I read that chairman of the University Grants Commission, he reported that 30 to 40% positions of the central universities are vacant. So we can't run the university properly, leave this side, how we can bring the excellence. So that become, and he felt perturbed, and he said that I'm going to issue the order so that all these positions could be filled up immediately. And we all know that this kind of ruckus, this kind of impediments is being created by bureaucracy. Sometimes you must be wondering, and it is said that all have found, we all have seen that sometimes it is said the NFS, none found suitable. In this very competitive era, I think we say that, and there is an ulterior motive behind it, that for one position, if you advertise one position for professorial position in the university, at least 10, 12, 10, 12, more than that, 20 candidates would come. And in that situation, we are fighting NFS. So situation is like, we need to become practical also. We need to become very pragmatic also. So if we are going to create a healthy society, progressive society, better society, thriving society, I think we need to follow this, and we need to do something extraordinary. And we should feel passionate about that. The power of collaboration must be harnessed to enhance the quality in the higher education system. Yes, I think that should not be taken into the negative way. Rather, that should be taken into a positive way, in the sense that we could reap the benefits of that one. If you are interested to hold some sort of seminar or symposium or workshop or training, I think you can be bilateral, you can be by hybrid, you can follow the blended kind of mode. Means the people, the extraordinary people, a scholar who is sitting anywhere on the world, you can get it connected at the local level, or with whatever the resources are there. You can rope in them, and we can reap the benefits. We can bring excellence. We can give the exposure to the students, to the audience, to the academics. So in a way, lot of ways and means are there through which we can walk for bringing excellence. And we all know that what is other things that must be taken into account. We all know that forward looking and collaborative partnership be promoted so that our country can emerge as a center of global knowledge hub. So it's not I think collaboration has become the need. I think, as I told you, that the last point or of the sustainable development, it has been said that the objective itself is collaboration, global partnership, collaboration, coordination. See, here I am giving you one example. I think that would be more clear. Within the country, this is irony that even within the country, there is a lack of coordination between the department, because one VC, under the head of one VC, many department, many faculties exist. Even there is a ruckus, there is a fight, there is a struggle, there is a conflict between the two departments. And see, if we are going to take the benefits of 1200 university, all these universities have their own advantages, have their own strong points in terms of the faculty, in terms of some of the department faculty, some of the infrastructure. I think they differ from each other. So if we start sharing our resources, our human resources, our physical infrastructure, I think we can bring wonders, we can bring excellent in higher education. If we start doing the exercise, joint or collective exercise for doing the for research, again, there's a lot of scope, there's a lot of potential for bringing a lot of excellent is again very important. So in nutshell, what I wanted to just wind up by saying that if you see the potential of higher education. It has a lot of potential. If we are going to enhance, elevate the status of higher education, means we are going to bring excellence in higher education. Definitely, higher education will bring excellence in society. So how it will bring excellence? When it will be able to eradicate gender discrimination, it will be able to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. It will also have the potential to reduce the unemployment, which are current in our own country. It will also be able to reduce poverty from our own. So inequality, poverty, unemployment, and of course, also brings enlightenment. It also brings a lot of positive vibes in the society. When it is called why it is called the teachers are the brain of the society. So we are the brain of the society. So if our brain can be developed much more, definitely there will be good impact. There will be good implication. It will also give for the society. It will give a lot of things for the betterment of the society. So here, in nutshell, what I would like to submit before you that we all have been doing this kind of exercise so that as an individual, as a conscious citizen of this global society or Indian society, we need to play our active role so that this policy, national policy, can bring a lot of change, positive change in the society, so that we would be able to catch up with the fast changing of the changing society of the world. At the same time, it will also bring development, economic development, social development, so that we could realize the dream of the developed nation, Vikshit Bharat. So higher education with the help of the teachers, 15 lakhs teachers can realize or can contribute immensely in realizing the dream of the developed nation. So there is a direct connection between the society and the higher education. So we have been expected that we are going to play our role in the higher education system, or in higher education. We are going to bring excellence in higher education, and once we do it, definitely it is going to have the positive impact, and that will bring progress, prosperity in the development of society. So we let us think positive. Let us contribute whatever we are contributing, because our number is also very huge. 15 to 20 lakhs teachers are basically considered to be the brain of the society. So I think I should not stop. I should not talk much. Rather, I should also listen to you all. Unless until your questions are coming to me, I will not be satisfied, in the sense that you could say that I am only speaking. So now I am stopping here. Thank you so much for so much patient here. Still, I think the 30 or 25 20 minutes are still left for your own questions, and deliberately I have stopped. Otherwise, I could have dragged to speak till 5. But because when I was in the staff college, because I spent more than 24 years there, so I know sometimes when the program was conducted offline, so many times the persons like you came forward and they said that all the times were eaten by the only resource person. He hardly gave the time. He or she hardly gave the time for our own questions. So I am always conscious of this fact that we are talking. I am talking to my friends, my colleagues who are equally important, who are equally educated, rather more educated than what I do. So I should give the time for them to give their own response, to give their own questions, remarks, queries, and anything they like. Yes, please. Oh,
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session and insightful session. Participants, now the forum is open for discussion or the queries or the questions. If you can have any kind of queries or the question or the observation whatever you have note here, you can please discuss here. Please, anyone.
Yeah, I will be very happy rather. Otherwise, I will feel discouraged, you know. If you ask question, comments, observations, so asking question is a beautiful idea, beautiful thing. So you exercise this. You are on the positive side, on that side, you can put me rather more uncomfortable while putting your questions. But I will try. I am assuring you that I will try my level best to come up to your expectations. So you ask me question, any damn question, any relating to higher education, society or NEP or anything you ask me. So I'm very happy to answer your question, please.
Sir, in our traditional college,
how
to create recruitable human resource?
What do you mean by traditional colleges? इसका क्या मतलब है वैसे? Means
Yes, now we are going in the means we are converting our education in a through the NEP in new educational model. But till now we are under the traditional model. Means what the model is going on last from 25 to 30 years. Means where only we are stressing on the distribution of degrees, but skill and internship, these things we are introducing only. So how in a traditional college recruitable human resource we have to create?
No. See, the idea behind this is not only to convert like that, but just expansion. You use what the expansion means. Whatever we were doing, we need to do that. Along with that, we need to also take into the cognizance that how skills could be created. See, here, let me tell you again, I'm just connecting with this thing that it's the country, it's the time for this nation to convert this population, means take the benefits of this population, which is considered to be the most working age group, means 15 to 35. For that, we need to do a lot. Otherwise, you know, after 30 or 25 years down the line, same pocket of population will become the burden on the society. That's why it is said that we need to make our system which would be also employable, means skills. A skill doesn't mean that only you need to do diploma and a certificate. You don't need the PhD. You don't need all these things. Along with the PhD, everything, I think that should be also given the priority. It should also be taken into the consideration. This is the idea. Means a skill oriented means, see, if you are going to give certain skills, definitely they will become rather more employable. As it is said in the policy that many studies have been done in the past, and we have got to know that the system to which we all are having is producing unemployable young men and women. So this is very disgusting in the sense that we are not contributing. Rather, we need to see the requirement of the society. We need to see the requirement of the global market. If we don't see, I think our people, our Indian students will not be taken into the account. That is the catch. That is the issue. See, already I have said to you, I have shared with you that Indians have shined anything like anywhere. They are in NASA, they are in Oxford, say Stanford, all top level, all top level notch institutions. They are working, and they have taken this country in the right perspective. So they have projected the image of this country also. They are contributing. Already I have told you that they have remitted a huge amount of remittance to India, leaving China or many countries far behind. So it has happened since 2010. So how we are going to consolidate so that our country could get much more and more remittances? And already I have highlighted the importance and the significance of the remittances in foreign exchanges which are coming back to India. And this is all happening due to the outflow of the human capital, human resource. Once upon a time, we used to discuss about brain drain. Now we have stopped talking of the brain drain. Now we are talking of the brain circulation, of brain gain, in the sense that any wherever you are. Now, the permanent citizenry or permanent citizenship has become the dream for any. Not easy to get the permanent citizenship for any nation, even in the US or Canada, or for that matter anywhere. So what is there? You go and work there and you remit the money or send the money back to your home country. So India has now started reaping the benefits of its own diaspora or of its own overseas Indians. So what my hunch is that if you are going to miss the bus, in the sense that if you don't take skills into the consideration, I think we will be left far behind, and we will not retain, or we will not be able to consolidate our position at the global level, even at the national level. If human capital, you understand the importance and significance of the human capital. We all know that. I think lot of importance and for the human capital, human resource. It is considered to be one of the very important factors of production. Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, you know pretty well in economic parlance. So human capital gives you entrepreneurship, human capital gives you labor, human capital gives many things to organize everything. So here, skills becomes important. So we cannot, I think, as you very pointedly say that, I understood, if I understand correctly, that you say that there are some courses which are considered to be which has nothing to do with direct market. Like take the example of some of the language courses, some of the art courses. You mean do that, but as a whole, see, if you see the economics, I'm just giving you one example: economics and sociology, or the social work, and for that matter, public administration, and for that matter, in any subject. I think every subject can be made relevant today. I think no subject is, you cannot, I think I cannot prove that this subject is not relevant today. I think it is relevant. We cannot say that. And everything as a whole, you need to see this thing in the very holistic terminology, in the holistic pattern. I think we can contribute. Even with your language courses, you can contribute. I can contribute. If somebody. So here it's, I think, not wise to say that only engineering and doctors, engineers are going to contribute to the society. Everybody has its own importance in making the society a better society. I think if you see this in a very serious manner, in a very academic manner, you will reach this conclusion. So as we say, the research can be categorized into the applied research and what we call a theoretical research. But this is not directly, I think this kind of compartmentalization is not possible. The element of see, even engineering is not 100% applied. Even medical science is not 100% applied. So we need to make our subject apply to the extent possible, and to see. We cannot say that what we call it poetry, prose, and this literature has nothing to do. I think, as I told you, if you remember, I think this is the age of soft skills. Where does the soft skill come from? Soft skill always comes from this literature, aesthetic, art, and everything. So nothing you can say that this is irrelevant for the society. If you get only degree, your degree is not going to make you sure that you will get the employment. At the same time, how smartly you are, how you are going to pose, how you are going to behave in the society is very important, and that comes from the subject and from the literature to which you are referring to, if I understand you correctly. So not any subject. You can you tell me specifically which subject are you talking of, and nothing. I think every subject can be made applied, and it has its own relevance. I am sure, and I can prove you. Yes.
Yes, Dr. Rajkumar Sharma, sir.
Thank you, sir.
इसलिए मैंने कहा ना कि देखिए ऐसा है कि कभी कभी सी अपने सब्जेक्ट को, इवन टुडे इफ यू सी इवन फिजिक्स इज नॉट रेलिवेंट टुडे, आई एम टेलिंग यू. सो हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू मेक द फिजिक्स रेलिवेंट और sociology relevant or for that matter even literature relevant? It all depends how skillful we are, how skillful we are, then we can do it. And for that, again, passion plays a very important role. How committed we are for scholarship, how committed. So now it becomes very important for all of us to play our very active and proactive role in order to make this society a better society, and what we call it, progressive society, modern society, whatever you say. I think anything is there, anything is left, I will be happy, I will be glad to interact with you. So far, I have tried my level best
Yes,
to.
anyone else has any queries or
Yes, yes, please.
questions?
I will be very happy. इसको ये लगा दो वहां से. नहीं तो हो जाएगा, 10 मिनट तो चल जाएगा. Anything, please. और पूछें आप लोग कुछ. Anything you wish to know, please. थक गए वैसे लग रहा है कि आप लोग हैं. मुझे तो लग रहा है मुझे थकना चाहिए था.
Very nice session, sir. Thank you, sir.
नहीं, ये तो अच्छी बात है. थैंक यू सो मच संदीप जी फॉर योर encouraging remarks. So if you wish to ask any question relating to anything, or 8 themes, NEP, higher education, society, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, research and development, अभी कौन कौन सा थीम पे
सर
आप.
ये कैसा, हेलो
जी
हेलो हेलो
बताओ.
सर, एक ऐसी बात है कि जो आर्ट और कॉमर्स कॉलेज है, जो आपने अभी बताया कि इकोनॉमिक्स, हर सब्जेक्ट, सोशोलॉजी है या मराठी लिटरेचर है, उसमें कैसे जॉब क्रिएट करना थोड़ा सा यानी हो सकते हैं, लेकिन उतने ज्यादा प्रमाण में नहीं हो सकते कि जैसे कि उनको खूब बहुत ज्यादा क्वालिफाइड बच्चे हो जाएंगे और इनकम भी अच्छा हो सकता है. तो
नहीं,
ये
अब
थोड़ा सा
ऐसा है, देखिए लिसन
दिक्कत.
लिसन, मैं समझ
और
गया.
दूसरी
मुझे
बात यह है
मुझे
सर, जो
हाँ.
विलेज लेवल पे जो कॉलेजेस है उनके
देखिए ऐसा है कि एक कहानी, एक वर्ड होता है
लिए
इनोवेशन.
प्लेसमेंट करने के लिए थोड़ा सा, यस सर,
नहीं,
इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा
हाँ,
मार्गदर्शन
मैं
कीजिए.
बोल रहा, मैं समझ गया था. आई अंडरस्टूड योर पॉइंट. अब रही बात की, देखिए सब सब्जेक्ट को इमीडिएटली जैसे का. अब रही बात कि कोई ऐसा सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, अब उसको देखिए विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम. आप देखा होगा कि आप इंजीनियरिंग का ले लीजिए, कभी सिविल इंजीनियरिंग ऊपर चला गया, कभी कम्युनिकेशन चला गया, कभी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स चला गया, कभी किसी का. सो मार्केट चेंजेस, सिचुएशन ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट मार्केट. इन द सेम वे आपने जो लैंग्वेज की बात की, देखिए लैंग्वेज को भी हम किस तरह बना सकते हैं. बहुत सारी चीजें होती है ना कि इनोवेशन लाने की जरूरत है. इनोवेशन तो हर लाइन में पॉसिबल है, हर सब्जेक्ट में पॉसिबल है. अब रही बात कि चाहे लैंग्वेज हो या लिटरेचर हो, अब आउटराइटली समटाइम्स वी से दैट कि भाई ऐसा कि सब तो ऐसे ही है. अब लूज इन ए वेरी लूज, इन ए वेरी नॉन सीरियस मैनर वी ऑफन से दैट ये सब्जेक्ट तो कोई सब्जेक्ट ही नहीं है, बोल देते हैं. बट दिस सो इज नॉट द केस. एवरी सब्जेक्ट और एवरी इशू, एवरी डिसिप्लिन हैट्स ओन रेलिवेंस. सी इन द वेस्ट इफ यू सी, फिजिक्स जो पढ़ते पढ़ते वो क्या आर्ट में, म्यूजिक में चला गया. तो आप देखिए ऐसा है कि दैट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन द रिक्वायरमेंट. एंड अगर इफ सम सब्जेक्ट is not up to the mark, in the sense of we as a teacher need to upgrade that subject. हमें सोचना है, if I am a teacher of literature of any subject like English, like Hindi, like
सोशोलॉजी.
it or anything for that matter, it is the responsibility of the teacher like me to innovate, to bring some ideas, to bring some innovation, how it could be related to the society, how we can discuss, how it can be converted into the applied aspect, so that it could connected with the market, with it is connected with the society. ये सब हो सकता है और होता रहा है, और यही तो हमें करना है. इसी की बात तो हो रही है कि कैसे करेंगे. यही तो कैच है. Here is a catch, and here is a need to motivate to all of us.
Yes.
We should motivate.
Yes,
We
sir.
should feel motivation. तो उसमें जरूर आएगा. कम और ज्यादा तो रहेगा, ये तो पॉसिबिलिटी है, क्योंकि आज जो कम है कल वो ज्यादा हो सकता है, कल जो ज्यादा आज कम हो सकता है. तो यही तो है, यही तो कैच है, और यही तो हमारा सारी चीजों का समझ के निचोड़ है. एब्स्ट्रैक्ट यही है, इसेंस यही है. फिलोसफिकली आप कहेंगे फिलोसफी भी एक सब्जेक्ट होता है, तो डोंट यू थिंक दैट फिलोसफी शुड नॉट बी टॉट? डू यू थिंक दैट फिलोसफी शुड नॉट बी टॉट एनीवेयर? Definitely you will not, क्योंकि that is the mother of all the reasoning. कहाँ, where does the reasoning come from? I think argument, logic, reasoning, सारी चीजें, which subject will provide it to you or to me or to anyone? I think here it is said that you don't see the subject. These all are the minuscule subject or the discipline or the issue. इसको holistically देखना है. इसको ये कोई particular subject के, देखिए ऐसा है कि आप take the example of I'm giving you a very rudimentary and very आप see the spokes of any wheel. साइकिल का आप स्पोक्स देख लीजिए, वो कहेंगे
Yes,
ये एक इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, सारे हैं, सारी इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट है. उसी तरह we need to discuss this thing at the larger picture, how we can upgrade or bring the excellence in the domain of higher education, so that that system can compete with the global situation, or which can come at the global standard. अब उसमें एक पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट एट द माइक्रो लेवल, वी ऑल द टाइम वी नॉट नीड टू सी एट द माइक्रो लेवल, we need to see at the macro level, at the grand level. So these all are the small part of the larger part. So here we need to see sometimes at the larger part. वो कोई एक सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, सारे सब्जेक्ट्स इंपॉर्टेंट है. Sometimes some subjects become rather inevitable. So not only engineering, not only medical science, not only the humanities. I think if somebody is doing extraordinary today in humanities, I think he or she can have the more potential or can chance to get the better job. So I think getting job is already, I have told you, the immediate and immediate, but not all things, immediate requirement of the human being. But at the philosophical level, as we say, the education brings enlightenment. We cannot deny this thing. It brings light to the society. तो उसको अब we need to analyze, we need to see all these things. Yes, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. आपका नाम क्या है? आप ही का नाम है?
Yes, Sandeep Saturwar.
हाँ,
Yes.
इसीलिए आपका चेहरा देख रहे हैं हम तो अभी. अच्छा. Is there any more question or we कुछ anything? So we need to put our best effort so that this system can be made excellent and robust. Means higher education system I am talking of.
Yes, participants, if there is no queries or the questions, then we can conclude. If someone has any queries or the questions, they can directly ask to Professor Rahman.
Yes, yes, I'm ready. I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much indeed.
Sir, I think there is no more queries or the questions from audience side.
They have got tired, I guess.
Yes, anyone else? Or we shall conclude this session.
I'm seeing very.
Sir, I think there is no more queries or the questions from the audience. So shall we conclude, sir? If you could.
Yeah, thank you so much. So now.
So on behalf of the Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, I here to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Rahman sir for such a wonderful and insightful session. Sir, really, you have described the role of our teacher fraternities, not only the teacher fraternities, academic fraternity in the society, and how can the society will evolve and develop by our contribution. So definitely we assure from this platform that we will contribute from our we will contribute for our great nation building and for the building of our great nation. And definitely, sir, the HEIs in the today's evolving era will come up with the probable solutions that you have told us, sir, and you have provided the clear cut roadmap and the strategy how can we approach for our nation building and achieve the agenda of declared by the honorable prime minister, that is Vikasit Bharat 2047, sir. So on behalf of Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, I again extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Rahman, sir. And not only I will also thankful to all the participants for their patient listening and active participation in the interaction. And with the kind consent of Professor Rahman, sir, I would like to declare that this session will be over here. Thank you, everyone, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, participants, we will stop now here and meet tomorrow. Our tomorrow's session will be at 4 p.m. and I will send the details accordingly. Thank you, everyone. We will stop here.